Iran, ranked 20th in the world by FIFA, surrounded by controversy and political unrest, will be appearing at their 6th World Cup finals in Qatar. Iran's first appearance on the world stage in Argentina in 1978 was a bit of a baptism by fire. Any group is going to be tough for them, but to face the Dutch, fresh off the total football of 1974, was brutal. Giving away 2 pins on the way to a 3-0 loss was no less than expectation. But their first ever World Cup goal was an own goal against Scotland, and they held on for a draw in the second match. Giving away another 2 pins against Peru was never going to see them on to the next round, and their debut would end in disappointing fashion. It took 20 years for the men from Iran to make another appearance on the world stage, but they were back for France '98. Yugoslavia was making their last appearance named as such and recorded a 1-0 win over Iran with a late goal. This tournament for the Iranians was really focused on the second game against the USA, but once again for political reasons and not sporting ones. An exchange of white roses took place before the game to show support of peace and sport instead of violence. A stronger performance would yield a 2-1 win over the Americans in Lyon, despite a late charge led by Brian McBride, giving them their first ever win at the Cup, and it was a famous one at that. This result afforded them an opportunity, but they were up against the Germans, who were not to be denied, and saw them off with a 2-0 win in the third match. They would skip the tournament in Korea and Japan, but make the plane to Germany in 2006. A draw with Portugal, Mexico, and surprise qualifiers Angola. They may have thought there was a chance here, but they opened against Mexico, who they would have to beat in this one to hope for anything, and they managed a draw for 75 minutes before shipping 2 late goals in disappointing fashion. They were up against it already, facing the Portuguese in the second game, and they didn't need Ronaldo's penalty, as the Iranians didn't manage to score, and went down 2-0. A bit of pride was saved in the draw versus Angola, who would also be commemorated for the same reason, but unfortunately this was not enough, and Iran crashed out at the group stage once again. Leapfrogging another tournament, the men from Iran would return to the world stage down in Brazil for the 2014 edition of the tournament. They seemed to perform just a bit better each time out, and they started this one with a tight draw versus Nigeria. However, it was Messi and Argentina in the second game, in which they produced a Herculean effort versus a lackluster Argentina side. But the magic of Messi could not be denied, with a nasty curler coming in from the right. Classic Messi, 1-0 in the 93rd minute, a real dagger blow to Iranian hearts. This set up a must-win situation against Bosnia-Herzegovina, but Edin Dzeko and the gang would prove too much, defeating Iran 3-1 in the third match, actually resulting in both teams going out. For the first time in their history, Iran would qualify for successive World Cups, making it down to Russia in 2018. They would be drawn into a wild Group B with both Iberian nations and Morocco. The first match was a tight draw until the 95th minute produced an own goal to see Iran record only their second ever win at the tournament. It was exactly what they needed going into the second game versus the Spanish. Diego Costa would net the only goal in this game for a typical 1-0 Spain win. It set up another meeting with Cristiano Ronaldo in the third game. Despite playing well and bagging a pin in stoppage time, the impressive 1-1 draw would not be enough to get them over the line. But this tournament showed they had some pride, being their best performance on the world stage yet. Players on the team heading to Qatar are reportedly torn about whether or not to even play, amidst protestations from Iranian citizens and political upheaval. Many have called for Iran to be ousted from the tournament altogether. At the time of this recording, they are still set to play England, Wales, and the USA, a tight, tough group if ever there was one for them. Supposing they make the short journey to Qatar, can they improve on their past results? Will they be able to put all of the controversy at arm's length and focus on football? Do they have enough to build on what's gone before and finally make it through to the group stage at the World Cup?